Roloff celebrates big victory as Matt Roloff is left furious. Why Molly walked away from LPBW. What happens when you grow up with cameras in your face, your family's drama playing out on national television, and your every move dissected by millions of viewers, and then you just walk away? No farewell episode, no dramatic social media post announcing your departure, just silence. That's the story of Molly Roloff, the only daughter of Matt and Amy Roloff, who has done something that none of her brothers have been able to achieve. She completely escaped the spotlight and built a life entirely on her own terms. While Jeremy builds his brand with Audrey, Zach navigates life as the only child, continuing the show's legacy, and Jacob takes his own unconventional path. Molly has become the ultimate enigma. She's the Roloff who said no to fame, no to the drama, and yes to a quiet life in Spokane, Washington, where she works a normal job, lives in a normal house, and enjoys a level of peace that money and fame simply can't buy. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into Molly's full story, from her childhood on the farm to her college years, her marriage to college sweetheart Joel Silvius, her successful career as a senior accountant, and why she may just be the happiest member of the entire Roloff family. Before we get into all of this, if you appreciate deep dives like this and want to stay up to date on everything about the Roloff family and beyond, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below. Do you admire Molly's choice to walk away from fame, or do you wish she'd come back to the spotlight? I genuinely want to know what you think. Let's get into it. Molly Jo Roloff was born on September 17, 1993 in Portland, Oregon, and from the moment she entered the world, she was already carrying a special significance. She shares her birthday with her mother, Amy. That's not just a coincidence, that's a bond that has been evident throughout her life. As the only daughter among 4 children, she has twin older brothers Jeremy and Zach, and a younger brother Jacob. Molly was always somewhat unique in the Roloff household. But being the only girl in a family of boys didn't mean she got special treatment. If anything, it meant she had to be tough, grounded, and capable of holding her own in a family that was anything but ordinary. From 2006 onward, that ordinary life was turned upside down when TLC began filming the family for what would become one of the network's longest-running reality shows. At just 13 years old, Molly's adolescence was captured on camera for millions to see. Her awkward teenage years, her relationships with her brothers, her family dynamics, all of it was broadcast to the world. And while her brothers seemed to thrive in the spotlight in different ways, Molly appeared to tolerate it at best. She never seemed to seek out the camera. She never played up drama for airtime. She was always just Molly, going about her life as best she could while cameras documented everything. What was it like being the only daughter in a family of little people on national television? In those early years, the show focused on the family's challenges and triumphs navigating the world as little people. But for Molly, who didn't have dwarfism, her experience was different. She was an average height child in a family where dwarfism was central to their identity and public story. This unique position could have been isolating, but Molly seemed to handle it with remarkable grace. Her parents have spoken about their protectiveness when it came to Molly. In a 2021 interview on the First Class Fatherhood podcast, Matt Roloff revealed that they were particularly careful about Molly's involvement in the show. He mentioned that there were some other scares in the early days when everybody was young, and that they were very protective, particularly worried about Molly becoming involved in something. When we did the show, we had a number of fans who were overzealous to get to various members of the family that they were fixated on. This statement tells us something crucial. Molly's decision to walk away from fame might not have been just about wanting a normal life. It might have been about genuine concerns for her safety and well-being that began long before she ever left. Despite the cameras, Molly's education remained a priority. She attended Faith Bible High School, where she excelled academically and athletically. In fact, she was quite the standout. She played volleyball and was even recognized at the high school awards banquet with awards for excellence in Spanish, pre-calculus, and chemistry. This academic excellence was a sign of things to come. Molly was never content to coast on her family's fame. She wanted to build something real. When it came time for college, Molly made a choice that would set the trajectory for her entire adult life. Instead of staying close to the farm or choosing a college that would keep her tethered to the reality TV world, she moved to Spokane, Washington to attend Whitworth University. She started her studies in 2012, and this physical distance was the beginning of her emotional and psychological distance from the show. At Whitworth, Molly wasn't the daughter from that reality show. She was just a student, studying accounting and Spanish language and literature and working hard to build a future that had nothing to do with a camera. Her time at Whitworth was nothing short of impressive. She didn't just coast through, she graduated summa cum laude in 2016, a distinction that requires a GPA of 3.9 or higher, and a testament to her dedication and intelligence. But Molly wasn't just a bookworm, she was actively involved in campus life. She was a member of the business club and the Laureate Society, and she worked multiple jobs, including as a manager at one of Whitworth's campus buildings and as a fellow at the First Presbyterian Church. She also interned in the accounting department at Hotel La Condesa, gaining hands-on experience in bookkeeping, auditing, and reporting, and she even worked as an accounting intern while still in school. This girl was building a resume that was serious, legitimate, and had absolutely nothing to do with reality TV. But perhaps the most significant thing that happened at Whitworth wasn't academic. It was where she met Joel Silvius. The love story of Molly Roloff and Joel Silvius is one of those tales that feels almost too perfect for real life. They met at Whitworth University in Spokane, and what started as a college connection turned into a relationship that has now spanned more than a decade. While we don't know the exact details of their first meeting or how they became a couple, what we do know is that their connection dates back to at least 2015, as Joel can be seen in early posts on Matt Roloff's Instagram feed. This is the kind of relationship that didn't happen overnight. It was a slow burn, a growing connection between two people who shared values, ambitions, and a vision for the kind of life they wanted to build. What's interesting about Joel is that despite being married into one of the most famous reality TV families in America, he has remained almost completely invisible. He doesn't have a public social media presence. He's never appeared on the show in any significant way, and he seems to have no interest in fame whatsoever. He is, in many ways, the perfect counterpart to Molly. Someone who values privacy, stability, and a life away from the spotlight. While Joel's exact profession has been kept under wraps, Molly's career path is well documented. After graduating in 2016, she began her professional career as a staff accountant at Moss Adams, a well-respected public accounting firm. She later moved on to Nordstrom, where she has worked her way up to the position of senior accountant, external reporting. Let's be clear, this isn't a hobby or a just for something to do job. She works in external reporting for a major corporation. That's a serious, demanding career that requires expertise, precision, and commitment. She's making a reported net worth of approximately $700,000 from her work, a salary that she earned entirely on her own merit, not because she was famous or had connections. Molly's career trajectory tells us something important about her values. She wanted to be known for something she built, not something she was born into. She could have easily leveraged her family's fame to create a brand, a podcast, a book deal, anything that would keep her in the public eye. Instead, she chose a path that many would consider boring, accounting, and built a genuine, meaningful career in it. There's a certain kind of strength in that. It's a refusal to use your family's fame as a crutch, a declaration that you can stand on your own 2 feet and build something real. The couple got engaged just days before Christmas in 2016, and their wedding was the talk of the Roloff family world. On August 5th, 2017, Molly and Joel tied the knot in a stunning ceremony on the Roloff family farm in Oregon. It was a beautiful wedding, and Amy Roloff described it as having tears, smiles, and a lot of love. But here's the thing about that wedding. Even then, Molly was subtly stepping away. The ceremony was traditional and beautiful, but it wasn't the spectacle that it could have been. It was an intimate affair, a family gathering, not a media event. And immediately following the wedding, Molly and Joel moved back to Spokane, where they've been building their life together ever since. One of the most notable things about Molly and Joel's relationship is that they have chosen not to have children. In a family where Jeremy and Audrey have 3 children with a 4th on the way, where Zach and Tori have 3 children, and where Jacob and Isabel have 1 son, Molly and Joel stand apart. They are the only childless couple among the Roloff siblings. And while fans and even family members have occasionally speculated about whether they might have children in the future, they have remained happy, focused on their careers, and committed to each other. What's important to understand is that this isn't a story about someone who's unhappy or incomplete. This is a story about someone who knows exactly what she wants and isn't afraid to pursue it. Molly and Joel have each other, they have meaningful careers, they have a beautiful home, and they have the freedom to live their lives exactly as they want. The fact that they don't have children doesn't mean they're missing something. It means they've chosen a different kind of fulfillment. And that's a choice that deserves respect. Why did Molly leave Little People, Big World? It's a question that fans have asked for years, and the answer is both complicated and simple. The simple answer is that she never wanted to be famous in the first place. Growing up on camera isn't a choice most children get to make. It's a choice their parents make for them. And while the show provided incredible opportunities for the family, financial security, a platform, a unique lifestyle, it also came with significant costs. Those costs included a loss of privacy, constant public scrutiny, and the inability to just be a normal person. The complex answer involves understanding Molly's personality. She is not like her brothers, who have, in various ways, sought to maintain public profiles. Jeremy and Audrey have built an entire brand around their lives and their podcasts. Zach and Tori continued on the show for years and still engage with fans on social media. Jacob has his own unique journey, speaking out against the show while still occasionally engaging with the public. But Molly wanted none of it. She simply wanted to be a normal person. Her father, Matt, has hinted that there were deeper reasons for her departure, saying that they were particularly worried about Molly and that there were overzealous fans who made things difficult. This was a family that received attention from fans who sometimes crossed lines, showing up at the farm, trying to get close to family members, and being overly invasive. For a young woman who just wanted to go to college, start a career, and build a life with her husband, this kind of attention wasn't a perk. It was a threat to the life she wanted to build. She decided to leave the show before that life could be compromised. Unlike many reality TV stars who try to transition out of the spotlight but can't quite let go, who keep posting on social media, appearing on spin-offs, or generating controversy to stay relevant, Molly made a clean break. She hasn't been seen on the show since 2019. She keeps her social media locked down to friends and family. She doesn't engage with fans. She doesn't give interviews. She simply lives her life. The contrast with her brothers is striking. Jeremy and Audrey have monetized their lives, selling the fantasy of their relationship, their parenting, their homesteading lifestyle. Zach and Tori have navigated the complexities of their public profile, remaining in the spotlight while also trying to protect their children. And Molly, she's just living. She's a senior accountant at Nordstrom in Spokane, Washington, married to a man who loves her and completely free from the circus of fame. She sees her family when she wants to, attends holidays and gatherings, and appears in the occasional family photo posted by her mother, Amy, or her brother Zach, but she does so on her own terms. In a world where we're obsessed with fame and celebrity, there's something almost revolutionary about her decision. She chose peace over fame. She chose a normal life over the drama that has consumed so many reality TV stars, and in doing so, she may have achieved the most successful outcome of any of the Roloff siblings. There's a reason why fans have always had a soft spot for Molly, and it's precisely this. On the show, she was always the grounded one, the voice of reason, the one who seemed less interested in the drama and more interested in just living a good life, and she's done exactly that. She's living proof that you don't have to be famous to be happy. In fact, stepping away from fame might be the secret to happiness. Now, I want to pause here for a moment. The first half of Molly's story has taken us from her childhood through her college years, her love story with Joel, and her decision to walk away from the show. But we're only getting started. The second part will explore what her life actually looks like today, what her family has said about her absence, the surprising ways she still maintains connections with the Roloff clan, and whether we might ever see her on screen again. Before we get into all of this, I want to remind you once again, if you're finding this content valuable and want to stay updated on everything happening with the Roloff family and beyond, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on Molly's journey. Your support genuinely means everything and helps this channel continue to bring you in-depth, thoughtful content. Now, let's continue Molly's story. When Molly and Joel moved to Spokane after their wedding in 2017, they were making a definitive statement. Their life was going to be in Washington, not Oregon, and certainly not in front of any cameras. Spokane, for those who don't know, is a city of about 220,000 people in eastern Washington. It's not a small town, but it's also not a major metropolis like Seattle or Portland. It's a place where you can live a comfortable, normal life without the constant scrutiny that comes with being in a major city, or more importantly, being anywhere near the Roloff Farms tourist attraction. Molly's life in Spokane is refreshingly ordinary. She wakes up, goes to work at Nordstrom as a senior accountant, comes home to her husband, and lives a life that is completely unremarkable in the best possible way. She and Joel own a beautiful home in the area, and from what we can gather from the rare glimpses we get through family photos, they've created a warm, comfortable space that reflects their values and their personalities. The couple has embraced a lifestyle that prioritizes quality over quantity. They enjoy traveling together, spending time with the friends they made during their college years, and visiting their families for holidays and special occasions. But unlike many people their age who document every meal, every vacation, every milestone on social media, Molly and Joel keep their lives almost entirely private. Molly's Instagram is locked down to a select group of friends and family, and Joel doesn't have a public social media presence at all. This is a couple that has intentionally built a wall between their private lives and the public eye, and they've maintained that wall with remarkable consistency. What makes their life in Spokane even more significant is how it contrasts with the lives of Molly's siblings. Jeremy and Audrey moved to Portland and later to a property outside the city where they've been building their Beating 50% brand, complete with books, podcasts, and social media content. Zach and Tori continued living on the farm for years before eventually moving to Battleground, Washington. But they maintained a public profile throughout. Jacob and Isabel have taken a more unconventional path, speaking out against the show while occasionally engaging with the public. But Molly? She's the only one who has achieved total separation. She's the only one who can walk down the street without being recognized, go to the grocery store without being photographed, and live her life without constantly having to curate a public image. In a family where everyone seems to have some kind of public presence, this stands out, but it's not an accident. It's a conscious choice that Molly made years ago, and she's stuck to it with an iron will. One of the most common misconceptions about Molly is that by leaving the show and maintaining her privacy, she must have distanced herself from her family. Nothing could be further from the truth. Molly maintains close relationships with her parents and her brothers, but she does so on her terms and away from the cameras. We know this because we see her periodically in family photos that are posted on social media by other family members. She's been present at major family events, Thanksgivings, Christmases, birthday celebrations. She showed up at Zach and Tori's wedding in 2015. She was there for Jeremy and Audrey's wedding in 2014. She attended her mother Amy's engagement party to her now husband Chris Merrick in 2019. She was at her brother Jacob's wedding to Isabel in 2022. She shows up for the important moments, and she's clearly a beloved presence in the family. But here's what's notable. Even when she's in photos that her mother or brothers post, Molly doesn't use those photos for her own content. She doesn't repost them, she doesn't engage with the comments, and she doesn't respond to the endless fan speculation about her life. She lets the photos speak for themselves. She's there, she's happy, and she's part of the family, but she's not going to give anyone more than that. It's a masterclass in boundary setting. The relationship between Molly and her mother, Amy, seems particularly strong. Amy has spoken about Molly with great affection in interviews, describing her as grounded and wise beyond her years. There's a particularly touching story from the wedding where the mother-daughter duo decided to forego traditional speeches to simply share personal moments in the family's home. It's clear that Amy is proud of the woman Molly has become, even if that woman doesn't share her mother's desire to be in the public eye. And what about Matt? While we don't see as much public interaction between Matt and Molly as we do with the rest of the kids, it's clear that they share a deep bond. There's a particularly sweet moment from Zach and Tori's wedding where Zach wrote Molly a special letter thanking her for being his best friend, proving that the connection between the siblings is strong and genuine. The family has always spoken warmly of the Molly and Zach connection, and that's a testament to their genuine sibling bond. If we take a step back and look at the lives of all four Roloff siblings, it's genuinely fascinating to see how differently their paths have unfolded. Jeremy and Audrey have built an empire. They have books, podcasts, a strong social media presence, and a dedicated following. They've monetized their lives in their relationship, and they seem to be doing well financially. But with that success comes constant scrutiny. Every move they make is analyzed. Every parenting decision is critiqued. They deal with trolls and haters and constant pressure to maintain their image. They also deal with the tremendous pressure of maintaining a public marriage while also actually being married in real life, which is a degree of difficulty that can't be overstated. Zach and Tori navigated the complexities of continuing the show while raising 3 children. They finally decided to step away from filming in early 2025, citing distance and wanting a more private life. But even that decision came with public scrutiny and family drama. They've dealt with speculation about their marriage, their parenting, their finances, and their relationship with Matt and the rest of the family. They're happier now that they've stepped back, but they still maintain a public presence through social media and occasional interviews. Jacob has taken the most unconventional path. He spoke out publicly about his negative experiences on the show, essentially burning bridges with TLC and publicly critiquing the very thing that made his family famous. He's found his own path with his wife Isabel and their son, but he's also not completely private. He still engages on social media and occasionally speaks about his experiences. And then there's Molly. She doesn't have trolls. She doesn't have people analyzing her marriage or parenting. She doesn't have to defend her decisions to millions of strangers. She has a successful career, a happy marriage, a beautiful home, and complete freedom. She doesn't have to curate an image or perform for anyone. She just gets to be herself. There's a case to be made that Molly has achieved the thing that all the other siblings are still chasing: genuine contentment. Jeremy has been open about the challenges of marriage and the pressure he feels. Zach and Tori finally had to step back from the show to protect their peace. Jacob has had to process his childhood trauma in a very public way, but Molly? She seems to have found the formula early and stuck to it. Molly's choice to walk away isn't just a personal decision, it's a cultural statement. In a world where everyone is trying to become an influencer, where people will do almost anything for likes and followers, where your value is measured by your engagement rate and your follower count, Molly said no to all of it. She looked at fame and decided it wasn't worth the cost. She looked at the spotlight and decided she preferred the shadows. This is genuinely rare. Most people who grow up in the spotlight either cling to it desperately or struggle to adjust to life outside of it. They chase the validation, the attention, the money. They become addicted to the dopamine hit of public approval, but Molly did the opposite. She ran toward privacy with the same energy that most people run toward fame. She chose a simple life in a normal city with a normal job over a life of glitz, glamour, and constant attention. And she made the decision early and decisively. She wasn't in her 30s, burned out from years of filming, desperately trying to figure out who she was without cameras. She made the choice when she was still in college, before she had built a public brand, before she had become dependent on the income or the attention. She got out before she was trapped, and that foresight and self-awareness is genuinely remarkable. Her journey reflects a shift we're seeing in culture toward de-influencing and valuing private, authentic experiences. More and more people are realizing that constantly performing for social media isn't fulfilling and can actually be harmful to mental health. Molly was a pioneer in that space before it was a trend, simply by following her own internal compass and refusing to be swayed by the pressure to be famous. One of the most impressive aspects of Molly's story is that she has built a real, sustainable career completely independent of her family's fame. While her siblings have monetized their public profiles, Molly has built her wealth the old-fashioned way, through education, hard work, and career advancement. Her career trajectory at Nordstrom is particularly telling. She started as a staff accountant after graduating, worked her way through the ranks, and eventually became a senior accountant in external reporting. This is a demanding role that requires specific expertise, and she clearly excels in it. What's also worth noting is that Molly didn't just use her college degree as a decorative accessory. She's actively using the skills and knowledge she gained at Whitworth University in a legitimate professional capacity. She does real work that provides real value to a major corporation, and she earns a legitimate salary for it. By building this kind of career, Molly has guaranteed herself something that fame can't always provide: long-term stability. The show could have ended at any point. Book deals and podcast sponsorships can dry up. Public interest can wane, but a career in accounting, that's solid, that's reliable. That provides not just income, but identity and purpose. Molly's net worth is estimated at around $700,000, which she's earned entirely on her own merit. She doesn't need to sell her personal life, share her marriage, or post photos of her home to pay her bills.